This week on Storyboard, the Advertising Agencies Association of India announced Roda Mehta as the recipient of this year's AAAI Lifetime Achievement Award. We take you to the award ceremony. As promised, we bring you my conversation with Michael Roth, Chairman and CEO IPG, straight from Cannes Lions. And a new season of KBC is about to begin. Jawab dene ka waqt aa gaya hai, says the channel. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. This is Shibani Gharat and I'm back from a very exciting week at Cannes Lions and a short holiday after with all the action from this industry. So let's begin today's show with this great piece of news. The Advertising Agencies Association of India, that is AAAI, announced former Ogilvy hand Roda Mehta as the recipient of this year's AAAI Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is the highest honor given to an individual in India for his or her outstanding contribution to the advertising industry. The award was presented to Roda on July 14 in Mumbai. Roda Mehta has played a substantial role in establishing scientific media planning and buying in India. While doing so, she built a whole generation of media professionals for the advertising industry. Roda spent most of her career at Ogilvy and in fact became the first MBA and the first woman to head media function of an advertising agency in India. Here is to her many achievements in advertising as we take you to the award ceremony.
The Advertising Agencies Association of India takes pleasure in presenting the 3 years of I Lifetime Achievement Award 2017 to Roda Mehta for the legendary and pioneering role she played in establishing scientific media planning and buying in India, for her admirable work in building a whole generation of media professionals for the advertising industry, for her invaluable contribution in setting up and leading media research bodies, for her immense contribution in the field of advertising and social causes, for the stellar leadership she has provided to the advertising industry and to not-for-profit institutions. She is truly deserving of the high commendation which this award bestows upon her. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big hand to Roda Mehta.
I wanted to make a contribution and give back to society. I don't know if I gave back to society, but it's good to feel that there was a contribution made and others have benefited from it, so that's good. I would say to people that don't worry about what you're going to get from your job. Just do a good job. Do the best that you can get and get to your highest potential. The fruits will come on their own.
Well, congratulations to her for this award and a lifetime of inspiring people. We now take you to my conversation with Michael Roth, Chairman and CEO IPG. I had a great week at Cannes and one of the conversations to remember was the one that I had with Michael Roth. He spoke to me about the importance of having skin in the game and being rewarded for the risk taken, and also about what would entice new talent in joining an agency as compared to joining a consultant. Let's take a look at this conversation. We are at Cannes in IPG Media Brands Villa, sitting on a director's chair with Michael Roth. Welcome to the show.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you.
So, we're at Cannes and, I wanted to know from you, is Cannes about advertising anymore?
Yes, it is. But the interesting part is advertising has changed. So your question is accurate as to whether it's about advertising. But advertising is really, truly marketing and communication now. And it's bringing together technology, creativity, PR, experiential, technology. it's all coming together, and if you want to call that advertising, that's advertising.
So do you think 5 years from now, maybe it will be more about consultants and tech companies as compared to advertising agencies?
No, I think we do consulting. I know consultants are trying to do advertising, and what we bring to the table is a fully integrated offering. So we have media, we have creative, we have obviously experiential, we have PR, all on an integrated basis meeting the needs of the client. Consultants have a system integration DNA, and from that they add maybe some digital capabilities. But we bring the whole thing together on a cohesive basis, and that's what clients are really looking for. So again, the word consultancy has changed as well. We do a fair amount of what we call business transformation. So, and our digital agencies like RGA and Huge both do a significant amount of business transformation, and it's all related. So we can bring all these disciplines together.
So, 1 year back you spoke about having the skin and taking risks, in this game. Right. How has it worked so far?
I think it's worked great. If you look at our performance versus our competitive set, we've outperformed our peer group over the last couple of years. So clients appreciate that we have a total client-centric focus on all our offerings. We don't have any particular bias of one medium versus another. We don't have skin in the game in terms of taking positions on inventory and media, and clients like an agnostic view of allocating media. And we've invested significantly in our digital footprint and our data analytics across the whole company. So I think it's going pretty well for us, and I look forward to that continuing.
So what are the big risks that you've taken over the past 1 year?
Well, I think one of the initial issues we faced is digital, and how do we approach digital? And rather than investing totally in one digital silo that would be working throughout IPG, we embedded digital capabilities in every agency, in every discipline, whether it be PR, advertising, experiential, sports marketing, all have digital capability embedded in it. Some of our competitors have just one big silo of digital, and they expect that silo to work well with the rest of the company. Our approach has been embedded in the disciplines and have specialty agencies come in on an open architecture basis to fill in the gaps if there are any.
So how do you embed that? Is there a particular strategy? How do you make it integral?
Well, we make it integrated by when we meet with the clients, and let's assume we get a brief or there's a pitch, we bring to the table all of the disciplines. And if we're doing our job right, our clients don't know what discipline is sitting in the room and how they're brought to the table. This way, we can really cover the full spectrum of marketing and communication.
So when the issue of ad fraud came to notice, you were one of the persons very vocal about it. So I want to know from you your opinions about ad fraud.
Yeah, look, our clients expect to pay for what they think they're paying for, and they want to be able to have the reach that they believe they're getting. And there has to be transparency in terms of where the money is going and what the results are. And our belief is that if the providers are not in a position to protect that, then there's no need for our clients to spend money in that environment. So I believe it's incumbent upon the publishers to make sure that where the money is going is actually where we think it should be going.
So you had spoken how you are ready to work with the likes of Google.
Sure.
In working towards a more protected model for advertisers to avoid such a thing again. What is the progress in that direction?
Obviously, the problem with Google came to the forefront. It's actually, I was in London when it came, and just as I landed is when it all came to the forefront. And we reached out to Google and said, we got to work together and we got to help solve this problem, and they committed to solve it. Unfortunately, recently there was another issue that they're on top of. So it's evolving. I think they're better than they were before, but they're not 100% there yet, and they need to be.
It has been a year full of political ups and downs, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it is your Brexit. what has been the impact on your business?
So far, let's do them one at a time. Brexit, we have not seen an impact of Brexit yet. There's certainly anecdotal stories about companies preparing for moving or whatever, and therefore trimming back some budgets, but we haven't seen that in a big way at all. The effect of Donald Trump on the United States economy, the market is setting all-time highs, if you will. I believe companies such as ours and our clients would like to see tax reform take place in the United States. Certainly he talks about tax reform as being on the agenda. And everyone is taking a wait-and-see perspective, and I think some of that is built into the market, which is why we see it doing so well. But absent that type of dialogue, I think business is just solid. I don't ascribe it to any particular campaign or individual. I just think the business environment is conducive to what we do.
So still, both of these events were rather unexpected. I remember when Brexit happened, we were right here at Cannes, and it was the Friday, and the final day of Cannes was, when everyone was talking about Brexit. Both of them were unexpected. What are the learnings from these big events? Probably some learnings that you would have that you could apply for your business this year.
Well, I think businesses have and we've learned this a long time ago, and that is anticipate anything, okay? Whatever you can, you should anticipate it. So if you have a Brexit situation or you have a contested election, be prepared for one versus the other, so you'll be able to hit the ground running and respond to whatever changes there are. And some of these macro changes, whether it be political, like Brexit, or an election, you have some time in which you can react to it. Like Brexit isn't going to really take effect for a while now, and during that period, you should be prepared for surprises. Because no matter how, the other side of that is no matter how you prepare, I can guarantee you something different is going to happen. And that's what companies, and frankly, that's what senior managements are paid to do, and that is to be able to maneuver and be flexible in a changing global environment.
So we're sitting in the middle of the year. How has this been so far for IPG?
Well, we're in a quiet period right now, so I can't really talk about our numbers. We had a positive first quarter. At that time, we said we were looking for 3 to 4% organic growth. And when we released our first quarter earnings, we confirmed that was our goal for the year. And, we have our June 30th year end coming up, and we'll see how that turns out.
So for the next 6 months, which are the markets that are looking the most promising?
Well, we've always said that we believe India is a very strong market. We have a very strong presence there with all our global networks and our media offerings out there, whether it be FCB, whether it be McCann, whether it be Mullen Lowe, and of course Media Brands is there, and FCB Media. So we like India. China is an important market for us. So Asia-Pac represents now 12% of our business. And we believe there'll be some pullback in parts of Asia-Pac, but it'll be a good growth market. The United States will grow. It won't grow as strong as some of the emerging markets, but Magna just put out a forecast for the year. So globally, it's around 3.6% if you pull out political and events. And I think next year, the year after, we're forecasting a little better. So I think all of this bodes well for companies that are well prepared, provide the kind of offerings that we offer, and we work together to make things happen.
So, what according to you will be the biggest challenges for the second half of the year?
Well, there were a lot of campaign promises made, and we'd like to see, just like in the United States, we'd like to see some of that appearing in India. I think we're off to a good start. We want to make sure that the digital transformation of India continues. Broadband is an important factor because the distribution of information has to be on a full country basis, and we need broadband everywhere to accomplish that. So and infrastructure, those are the kind of issues we'd like to see.
So final question, we are at Cannes, and let's say, on one of the days at the Crossett, you, Maurice Levy, Martin Sorrell, and John Wren met together for dinner, what would be the conversation?
Why are we having dinner? Last year we actually came together for the UN Strategic Development Goals, and we met on the panel on the main platform, and we were all there supporting strategic development goals. I assume we'd continue that dialogue. Certainly IPG is committed to continuing Strategic Development 6, which is water, and we're continuing to support that. And the rest is, just general industry stuff, nothing that violates any law in terms of pricing or anything like that. But it would be an interesting dialogue. Here in Cannes, we find ourselves together in a lot of the meetings, and it's very cordial.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us.
All right, my pleasure. Thank you.
It is time for us to take a short break. On the other side of this break, जवाब देने का वक्त आ गया है.